You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and midget robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Got a horse, a frog, some animal in my throat. What's up, guys? Today is Friday, November 30th. Yes, it's not Thursday. Day late. These Friday shows may become a bit of a habit because Thursday is just not happening right now. But this is episode 203, and we're lazily titling this one Happy Halloween. That's all I got. I'm your ball bear lizard host, Yogi. Tonight is just us. It's gonna be a super short show. Don't have much to say. I do have a simple call to action. So skip through the usual spiel. I'm gonna say, hey, if you're listening, give us some love. Show us some love. I don't even mean donations. Just interact with us, leave us a voicemail message, 646-801-2149. You can also text message that number, 646-801-2149. Email us, mail@geekyantics.net. Of course, we got the Facebook group, facebook.com/geekyantics. And we do the show live, usually on Thursday nights at around 11 p.m. We'll be starting a little earlier, 11 p.m. is a little rough. So lean towards 10. We'll probably split the difference to meet you at 10:30. That's at twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. And just what I want to do something different. Usually I have all these topics planned out, and some of our hosts pick out news items and topics of choice and other stuff. And we try to do a little round table, but when it's just me, that is fun. So give us some fan mail to read live for these shorter shows, or these shows where it's just me and Blue is laying on my lap, super comfortable, even though I'm just jittering about. She's just hanging out. She's part of the show. I really should do the video again so you can see her. She's as comfortable as can be. So, yeah, that's my call to action at the top of the show. But to give the show a little bit of meat, I've been working a lot. Got a bunch of big projects. So the next, probably for the rest of the year, to be honest, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Oh, you were ready yesterday? The WoW Classic news is big. I know you were ready yesterday. I saw the Discord chat. Save it for next week, and then we'll make up for lost time. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna copy this show note, and you can start editing it for next week. There you go. You have access. Don't say you don't. Damn it. Anywho, that's a bearded hat in the chat. I'm really congested. I've been at outside of the work stuff, I've been at a bit of a TV kick, catching up, like most people do, just kind of marathon watching stuff here and there. My marathons consist of like 2 or 3 episodes back to back, and then bed. On the sleepless nights, right? I think I'm pretty caught up. Oh yeah, Beans, you can totally do that. Go for it. Just as long as you send me. What are you doing, Blue? She's like, oh, she wants me to pet her. She's like rubbing her nose against my thumb. There you go. I'm like, what is that? What am I touching? Sorry. Trying to touch this bad. Yes. And then I'll rip the audio from the video. That'll work. Or you can just rip the audio from it and then I'll just do the post-production stuff either way. Pull the AAC track out or what have you. Blue's giving me lots of kisses. Cat kisses are weird, but I kind of like them. It feels like sandpaper. Gonna get like these tiny suction cups on her tongue. It's very odd. I find it relaxing though. I have a thing for sandpaper. Whoa. What was that jitter about? Anywho, so yeah, Beard will be hosting some of the streams. You have all the assets, right? I sent you all the stuff. If not, it'll look different. You'll just deal with it, damn it. Actually, I'll need the video too, 'cause I gotta upload it to YouTube. I think I made you a channel manager. Yeah. PM me, and we'll discuss over the weekend. I'm probably gonna hit day after this. I'm drunk and tired. Not a good combo. So I'm not gonna be very coherent, guys. Yeah, I sent you all the overlays and images and stuff. Logos and whatnot. I'll leave it to your creative abilities. So what was I say? CV. I'm caught up with The Flash, Arrow, which by the way, Arrow's been better than what I'm used to. I'm actually enjoying it again. Maybe it's just kind of take a break from it. I don't know. I still feel like it's very much a soap opera. I guess you can say that about all CW shows, but Flash just has a certain appeal to. I don't know. Flash has the soapy elements, but it's still action packed and keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's a good build up, you know. With Arrow, I feel sometimes like I'm just watching it. I'm like, where are they gonna go with this? Maybe morbid curiosity keeps me going. I don't know. And Oliver has always got the whole brooding thing going on. Always brooding about something. White teens with problems. CW on brand. Yeah, pretty much. Riverdale is definitely a guilty pleasure, but I have more of an excuse than most because it's kind of interesting seeing Archie comics, which I, grew up with like a lot of folks, and to see him take a darker turn. Plus, Veronica's pretty hot. I mean, I like Betty. Like Betty's the one you want a wife, but Veronica's pretty hot. I don't know. Be a tough choice. I hate to be Archie. So they don't play up that whole love triangle that they used to in the comics. It's more about the whodunit. Lots of murder. It's pretty crazy. I got a show similar to Orville. That's a show that folks, kind of slamming. I mean, not so much slamming, but it's not doing as well as it should, in my opinion. So, there's Star Trek Discovery, and I haven't seen it yet, but from what I understand, Star Trek Discovery is more Battlestar Galactica. Is that a bad thing? But is that Star Trek? It's more talking about people being assholes and what happens when assholes go into space. Where Star Trek used to be more about folks playing by the rules and trying to bring goodness into the world, so to speak. And that sounds really terrible, but it's more to it than that. Orville feels very much like Star Trek, but I can see why people criticize it. It doesn't seem like it knows whether it wants to be a comedy or a serious drama. So, Oh, Star Trek Discovery is the exact opposite of Orville or Battlestar Galactica? Oh, people reviews of Orville are positive. Critics not so much. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Star Trek Discovery is definitely the opposite of Orville. Yeah. So Orville has a lightheartedness to it, but I think it's still you can still take it seriously. Yeah, it's just not as heavy as some of the things. I don't know. Oh, Orville is the opposite. Reviewers love it and viewers are low on it. Oh, or maybe I have it twisted. I try to keep up with Beard while trying to comb through my thoughts. What few there are right now. I don't know. Overall, I would say Orville is really fun. Um, I like the characters. I like the settings. I like the situations they put in. The Orville ship itself is pretty cool. I think it deals with important issues without being too heavy-handed. The last one they did, it was called Majority Rule. That last episode might be pushing it. I enjoyed it, but it was just very blatant, very blatant about how this you can see the discontempt, or just a contempt, I guess is the word. I can't even think. The lack of approval, dissatisfaction with direction of social media. I don't know. I can't think of words right now. Words are hard. But yeah, it's very clear about social media being the bane of human existence. And I agree and disagree. I think it's it's like anything else. It can be used for good or bad. But it dealt with a really interesting issue about this notion of democracy and how an absolute democracy just wouldn't work. It'd just be mob mentality. And we've seen this historically, right? What happens when people take up the pitchforks and torches, unite together in ignorance. Yeah, it's unity, but stupidity is being perpetuated. And is that a kind of society that will progress and try new things? Society that initially forbids thinking outside the box. Two wolves and the sheep vote on what's for dinner. What? By the way, if you missed it, it's probably too late for most folks. Yeah, it's probably too late. I think today was the only day. November 3rd, apparently, is what do they call it? International or World Sandwich Day. So they have so Subway did their own take on it, and if you bought a sub any size and a drink, you get a sub of equal or lesser value for free. Pretty good deal. Pretty good. Oh, okay. I should say two wolves and a sheep vote on what's for dinner. Yeah. Democracy being bad / mob rule. Democratic Republic works better. Yeah. Yeah, I like the point they made on Orville. It's a very simple point, but poignant nonetheless. How having a voice should be earned, not given. So the whole episode, without getting too in depth into it, is about a society that's I forgot what the words were, but they were way behind. I guess considered ancient 21st century society set in old ways, and their whole thing was everything was a reality show and everything was driven by social sentiment, right? Mob mentality. So your upvotes and your downvotes determine everything. What kind of stores would do business with you, kind of jobs you could have, all this kind of stuff. What was it? These businesses had sides like If you have more than 500,000 downvotes, we will not do business with you. Absolutely no exceptions made. You know, it feels like we're heading that direction, right? People put so much value in their image rather than what they're actually doing to better the world. So, I think that was a really good episode. Yeah, it's like the whole point. A voice should be earned, not given. So, just because a bunch of people are loud doesn't mean they're right. And they got into a whole kind of dialogue about, you know, what was it they're talking about? You know, confusing opinion with knowledge or wisdom, you know, and then, you know, what is truth? Is truth what the majority accepts as right, or something that's just objectively real or correct? Pretty interesting stuff, right? I don't know. I think Orville, give it a shot. Let's get some maturing to do. But overall, I think it's been one of the best treats this season for TV. Still really enjoying Gotham. Surprisingly, they moved further away from Bruce Wayne. I guess mainly because the fans were crying, and it's been more about the villains developing, and of course, Jim Gordon kind of coming into his own. Kind of all the stuff that goes on with the GCPD. I find it pretty fascinating. I didn't think that there would be so much to do in this post-Batman world, or this pre-Batman world. But it's pretty cool seeing Gotham become the Gotham that we have known over the past few decades. So I still recommend the show. They introduced a few big characters, one of which being Solomon Grundy. You know, the webs of undertones and side stories is unraveling in a way. There's lots of things going on. We're getting some answers as well. But just super enjoying it. They brought back Morena Baccarat of Firefly fame. She'll always be my favorite characters from Firefly. What a beautiful woman. What a beautiful woman. Great actress too. That helps. This is doing good stuff with the show. The Riddler is an interesting crossroads in his life. And then Penguin's just kicking ass, just dominating, or is he? Supernatural finished the last season. At the end of last season, they killed off a bunch of big characters, but there's reasons to believe that they're not really dead. Because, you know, in the supernatural world, no one really dies. You know, there's purgatory, there's heaven, there's hell, there's Dragon Balls to wish people back. Ooh, Blue, you got a really bad scab there. Crazy girl, I wonder what she gets into sometimes. So yeah, you know, the Dragon Balls of Supernatural, wish anybody back. Yeah, the Winchesters get their mother back, but then they lose her. Then they get her back. Then they lose her again. So, you know, I just started thinking, like, how are they going to wrap this all up in a satisfactory way? You know, I'm thinking, who's the big bad this season? Can it really top it off? I don't think they can. That would have to be it, and then this is gonna be a bunch of fan fiction. So 14, 15 years of Supernatural. That's a great run right there. Can't beat that with a baseball bat. What else have I been watching? Lethal Weapon. That's big dumb fun. Though there's surprisingly some tearjerker moments. This feels in that show. But mainly big dumb fun, you know. Summer blockbuster style, you know. You know, not caught up with The Walking Dead at all. I'm curious, but well, I guess we'll get to that eventually. So the other one that comes to mind, if you're watching anything, I'd love to know what you're watching. Mail at geekyantics.net, or leave us a voicemail or text message at 646-801-2149. Again, 646-801-2149. Next week, I hope to get some video game time in. Come back with some video game fun. Oh, my son is playing the new Call of Duty. It looks pretty cool. But, it's more Call of Duty, really. Just different skins. Now it's an old-timey thing. And he keeps telling me, oh, this game looks gorgeous. And I'm like, I don't know. It looks like the same engine we've seen in the last 2 games. I mean, it looks good. But my socks are not flying off. I know. So this season of The Walking Dead apparently has been slow. That's what I've been hearing, particularly on Zombie Cast. Make sure you check out their podcast. They're probably going to drag out this whole Negan thing. I didn't even finish last season, so I got some catching up to do. And I need a simple way to do that. That may involve some yo-ho-ho, if you know what I mean. But I am curious. Hi, kitty. I think there was something else I wanted to bring up. Oop, bless you. I don't know if you guys heard that. Cat sneezing. There were some big things on the news, but meh. You probably heard it somewhere else. So you just get to hear me rambling. Yep. Again, find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Geeky Antics. We got Geeky Antics groups as well on Facebook for Destiny and Xbox gaming and all this other stuff. Fantasy football, which I haven't been keeping up with fantasy sports of any kind, really. I'm on autopilot. Yep. I'm Yogizilla on Xbox Live, Yogizilla. Twitter at Yogizilla. And of course, the network at Geeky Antics on Twitter. And that's all the main stuff. And again, I'm Yogizilla. And we'll see you next week. Peace.